Yes guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102, Challenge 10, Part 5. So, you can tell I've had my week off because I've really hammered through some of this game. And as you can see, we are now 10th of November of Season 5. So, following that triumph of winning the title last season, you might have seen on the previous part, although I did it with a song playing as opposed to me yapping. I've got my voice back now, so we can start on. Okay, so this is where we are at then. We've started really well indeed. Although, that being said, I was really hacked off at that one defeat we got, which was against Leeds. But I got over myself because we lost to Leeds. Now, let me just go back. Yeah, we lost to Leeds 2-0, and then we went to Man United and won 2-1. So I was very, very pleased with that. Let me just remember what happened in the Shield. Yeah, we won the Shield, albeit on penalties, although... yeah, I thought we were in control. We've started really well in the Champions League. We had a relatively straightforward group, I think it's fair to say. But as you may have already spotted there, our second phase looks a lot more difficult. But we'll see how we go from there. The League Cup, we are safely through to the fourth round of the League Cup, where we will meet Liverpool in a bit of a mouth-watering game, and the winners will take on Wolves. Let's have a look at our squad. I have just managed to sell a player, actually. This guy, Ludwig, we finally managed to fuck him off, and we got good money for him, actually. We got double what we paid, and that was straight up. Also managed to sell Secura, who I got on a free transfer, although I think that's on 6-month instalments. But our money's all good, nicely sorted now. You all know I sold Bosco Balaban. You've all taken the piss out of me for that. I am considering fucking off Louis Sahar, only because he keeps getting... his fitness is a bit shit, and he's had a couple of injuries, and it's getting on my tits a little bit. But there's another reason why I might get rid of him, and I'll show you that in a minute. In fact, I'll show you now. That's why, because this guy is due to arrive in about 5 weeks' time on an unprotected contract. And I think it's going to cost us about, what did it say? £3.9 million he's going to cost us. And obviously I want to make sure we've got money in the bank. So really, really pleased with that. Now the problem about bringing Brozovic in is going to be the non-EC side of things, because Costanzo is looking good, but he's a non-EC. It doesn't say he's a non-EC because I've got a Champions League game coming up. Costanzo, Chotis, who did let me down in a couple of games, and you can see his last game was a 5 there. Disappointing to say the least. I've sold Piero, you may have spotted that. In defence then, you can just see just how well Okoronkwo is doing. It just shows it isn't about being an assist machine as fullback, but he really is a dog's bollocks at the minute. Olemba started off injured, but he looks really good. Mexes has made defence his own. Morgan's recently climbed in. Passanen had a couple of shit games. I think got an injury. Could still realistically do with another central defender. I feel anyway. Marc Bircham, he hasn't really got position to warrant central defence. So going back to something on the previous video, Marc Kerr. So the deal to Marc Kerr, he was going to Rangers. You may recall, he opted to go to Rangers from Spurs ahead of myself. And it got to when the window opened, and it collapsed due to Rangers not having enough money. So I swooped in there, and I think I picked them up for, there you go, it was compensation, 2.7. Really, really pleased with that. It's not obviously a good thing for Simon Davies, but it does mean I've got two strong central midfielders. Arkidius back. Now, you could argue, why did I pay 1.2 million? That was on a contract protection thing as well, by the way. Why did I buy back? A, at the age of 30, he's now 31, and B, another non-EC. Well, anyone that knows me knows he's one of my go-to players, and to finally get him, if I can get a year or two out of him, I'll be pleased. Van der Gun, he's had a hatful of games this season. I'm trying to really give everybody a good hatful of games and have a bit more of a squad rotation perspective. Del Piero, now again, you could argue, why did I pay so much money for a 30-year-old who's now just turned 31? If I can get 2 years out of Del Piero, if I'm here that long, then I'll be pleased. And so far, so good from Del Piero. And obviously, it was celebrated when he arrived. And obviously, it gives competition for Riyadh, who hasn't had as great a season as normal, but still looking good. Tirado, the Mexican central defender, I had a chat with Gary about this guy. Gary told me he picked him up for $500,000. Now, you can see 807, he's done very, very well. I wanted a strong DMC. I actually felt that I could have got stronger. But do you know what? 807 is not to be sneezed at. But the problem is about Torrado. I mean, I got him because he had Spanish second nationality, which is perfect. It meant he won't count as one. But the problem I've got is he's Mexican and he misses a couple of games. In Mexico, I got a game, and that was a little bit frustrating. So Fernandez hasn't really had a fair crack. Rodriguez, I got him from Southampton. I was quite pleased with Rodriguez. He's had a hatful of games, mostly off the bench. Karagunas has had an absolute phenomenal season so far. I don't want to rock the boat with Karagunas whatsoever. 805, looking really good indeed. Up top then, there's only one man, Maximin Sigalko. And he he did get a red card, so 905 is having his better season than ever at the moment. Samba's come in. I did buy another couple of free transfers. I got this one around the work permit business just as the window opened. It looks good. I don't know a package. I don't even know who he is, but it looks really, really good. But he's a non-EC, so it's very difficult. I think, did I get De Jong? Yeah, De Jong. I like to look at all the free transfers available, even the ones that are not even interested in me. I mean, maybe De Jong could play better as a left winger, but I don't know. But who gives a shit? Peralta's had a few substitute games. I think he came off the bench on one of the games and got me a 10. Sahar, as I said about Sahar. So, yeah, so we are all set up. We are looking good. I'm not really looking at buying any more players yet until... this goalkeeper here, he's a youngster at Liverpool. He is available on an unprotected contract, but I'm going to wait until that Brozek deal goes through before we do anything else. We'll have a quick gander at... I really do want Yakubu, who is now second nationality of Dutch. He would be my DMC. He hasn't actually developed as well as he normally would. Gattuso's interested in me. He would certainly fit the bill. Now, a moment ago, I said to you, if I'm still here, because remember, this is Challenge 10. The objective is to win the title, and we've done that. But that being said, I think what I need to do is have another year in Europe on the bigger stage, the Champions League. And I think so far so good. And with that in mind, right, if I show you the manager's stats, I am number 1 in England and all nations. I'm actually up because I was 100 odd in that. But I'm looking at that thinking, fuck off, am I fair? How the fuck? I've taken little Russian diamonds, right, to the top of the English football pyramid, and you tell me I'm 88th in the world. You fucking... even Shearer is 81. Fucking hell. But I'll tell you what else, right? A couple of things I adapted to this ODB. I adapted it mid of this save, actually. One of them is the job information, where they're all sandwiched together across all the countries that I've got open. You can see... Oh, okay, I didn't even spot that. So Shearer's been sacked. Talking of Shearer, I didn't even spot that. Shearer's gone. Newcastle's available. Sporting would actually appeal to me because they're not looking good, are they, at the minute? But they're definitely a title-winning credentials there, you would feel anyway. Okay, either way. So they're all the jobs are all sandwiched together, and the insecure ones, Olympiacos, Lamel, etc., etc. And of course, the other thing I implemented, just a little personal preference. See if you can recognise what it is. Let's just click on my name and my profile. There's my profile. I love the idea of having a profile because I like to think, right, that we'll see where we are in 10 years. I think I start as a 35-year-old. As you do in any CM, even if you haven't got this feature activated, you theoretically are a 35-year-old with your date of birth, the 1st of January 1966. So they're building. I'm going to keep an eye on these bad boys. Level of discipline free. Funnily enough, right, I don't think this makes any difference, but I haven't been fining players really at all. So I wonder, if I was to fine players on a regular basis for bad behaviour, would my level of discipline go up? Who knows? I haven't really got much youngsters in my setup. Would that go up if I had more? Who knows? It's an interesting one, really. But that preferred formation is a complete load of bollocks. In terms of my reserves, of any interest, we've still got the Uruguayan Obra. Can't do anything with him. I've got Williamson, not doing anything. Who's that? Okay, I must have got... Yeah, he's come from the academy, obviously. Hotch, he's another half-decent one. So I've got a couple of players in the reserves. Nothing outstanding. I actually listed all my reserves this time because I wanted to raise some money. If I just go back to the transfers, You see, Scott Wilson, I got him on the unprotected contract, but on the last day, as you saw, the 31st of July, I just wanted some additional backup, and was very pleased with him. And you can see the dates that I got. Not Marc, so Pekic, Kane, Costanzo, they both arrived just inside the first week of the new transfer window. That's how you defeat the Home Office on a work permit. But whilst that's one thing, playing all your non-ECs can be really difficult and keeping everybody happy. European football is always different because you don't have no restrictions. So you'll see there that Costanzo's had 4 games in Europe and 4 in the league. And as I said, Piero departed. You might remember Piero. He got a red card. Let's just have a check. He got a red card on the last game of the season. In fact, do you remember Alex Manino? I had Alex Manino. He played all season for me. And in the very, very last game, I played Piero. And he got red card in the 90th minute. A quick gander this. I didn't show you this before. It would be fair to say I retained the FA Cup, but I got lucky. It's fair to say I got lucky there, didn't I? I didn't in terms of stats, but so we won the FA Cup. And we had a strong finish towards the back end of the season. No doubt about that. So that is where we are then. Challenge 10, Part 5. Onwards as we sail through Season 5. We'll see where we are. We'll see where the Champions League can take us. I am keeping an eye, a very close eye, on contract expiries. Morgan and Ferron are both going to be available, well, I say unprotected. They're both going to be available for a free transfer move unless I sort them out, which I am possibly going to offer them both a 2-year deal if I can. Samba, he threw a little fanny fit. I did buy Samba ages ago for £5 million, and he threw a fanny fit over, I think he got me a 5, and I told him off. Another player that left, you may have been quite surprised on this, was Bellamy. Bellamy left. I didn't feel Bellamy. He don't look the bollocks, does he? Parry left, and you can see they both went to Wolves. Shane Tolley was quite a surprise, but it was all about trying to find out some moves. And Rihalati, if that's how you pronounce it, he left as well. And the good thing is they've all left and they've all done shit. That's actually really good news. So let's just have a real check on something then. I didn't even spot this. So, I didn't even spot that at all. So it was only 5 days ago. So if I wanted, Alan Shearer is available as a free transfer. He's actually on my shortlist. I didn't even realise. Let's see. Would he consider? Nah, he wouldn't fucking consider at all. Let's just see. Would he consider a player assistant manager? No, he wouldn't. Well, fuck you then, Alan Shearer, is what I say. Fuck you. But like I said, I didn't even realise that he'd been sacked. So, yeah, I remember reading that, actually. I read that. I read about Lee Dixon. I just didn't even spot that. Okay, so that is where we are, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to know anything, add anything, sound off some abuse, go for it. And I'll see you guys soon.